Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Andy channel. I have a very excellent episode for you today about Luna, which is the main token for the Terra blockchain. I'm going to cover tokenomics, use case, development team, among other topics. Pretty much everything you need to know to have a good understanding and overview about what Terra is and why you should be involved with Terra if you so choose to be. On the Crypto Andy channel, I cover general crypto news. I love reading grayscale reports and any of the latest sort of occurrences that happen in cryptocurrency is what you will find at this channel. So let's dive right into Terra. So let's jump right in. What is Terra? Let's explain that. Terra is a decentralized open source blockchain for stablecoins. So stablecoins meaning coins that don't go up in value in a high volatile fashion. They use a combination of market incentives and decentralized voting. The Terra protocol creates stablecoins that are consistently track the price of any fiat currency, like the US dollar. Users spend, save, trade, or exchange Terra stablecoins. So Terra is mostly a DeFi application, which I think is probably the best sector in all of blockchain is DeFi. Luna's is a Terra's native token, and it provides holders with staking rewards, so you get earn rewards in Luna, and governance power, so you can vote. Terra ecosystem is a quickly expanding network of decentralized applications, which create a demand for Terra and increase the price of Luna. So, to give an analogy, the regular exchange market for dollars and euros and pesos and francs and whatever country's currency, that is a huge over $100 trillion market, just the exchanging of currencies. So if Terra can be sort of that place where people go to exchange stable coins to transact between different tokens very well, very effectively, then Luna can be in the future absolutely huge. And my analogy is the markets that exist for regular dollars and regular currencies today is a huge market. So if Terra can figure out a way and be the headliner for stable coins for transactions between them, then it's just a big and bright future for the Luna token, big and bright future for Terra protocol, the Terra blockchain, I mean. So definitely you don't want to ignore Terra as it develops. If they can reach that status of being the go-to place for exchanging between crypto tokens, it will definitely be something that you want to have in your portfolio. So let's talk about Luna's tokenomics, and I do use Luna and Terra interchangeably. Luna is the token, Terra is the blockchain, just to be clear. So there will be a total supply of 1 billion Luna tokens, and I think 4 billion of those tokens were burned originally right at the beginning of the project. So really it's less than a billion, but 1 billion is just so much easier is the intention. It was easier to say. So 10% of what was originally minted, which I couldn't find easily, and getting to this token allocation, it wasn't super simple. Like with most of the projects that I've researched, it was just like boom, the information's there and it's obvious. With Terra, I really had to kind of dig through, information to get to this. So 10% went to Terraform Labs, 20% went to employers and the contributor pool, which I think is like a ISO where people, stake their token, and then after a certain period of time, they get rewarded, they get airdropped. I'm not 100% sure if that's what happened, but that's kind of what a contributor pool sounds like to me. 20% went to the Terra Alliance to help drive early adoption, which is important. Another 20% went to stability reserves. These tokens were used to manage the network. And like I was saying, Tokens are minted at certain times and burned at certain times to keep the peg on stable coins like the dollar. So that's what the Luna token is for. The Luna token is for balancing what is on the Terra blockchain, so that a dollar is a dollar and not $1.50, not $2, right? 26% went to early investors, and 4% went to exchanges for Genesis liquidity. So what we see here with this allocation is that most of it has gone internally to backers, internally to Terraform Labs, Terra Alliance. The stability reserve, you could say, is not internal. That's like a requirement that they have to have. But most of the allocation has gone internal and not to the general public. But you have to just know that it's because what the Luna token is meant to do is stabilize the price of, the stable coins. So when you put it through that lens, it's okay. It's not a great tokenomics. I've seen much better ones. Like the backers could all decide one day to sell Luna and just kill the price, right? If they all 26% of it just falls into the market. So that's kind of a concern you have when you buy something with that much percentage of the tokens going to just, a few hands, a few specific backers. But like, again, put it through the lens of what Luna is for, that it's meant to stabilize and keep the peg of stable coins, and then it's not that bad. It's because of what it's for. It would end up being like this because of what the Luna token is for. So it's okay. It's not the greatest tokenomics ever, but it's not bad, and it does serve the important purpose of keeping things pegged to specific ratios so that stable coins can work. And that working will make their ecosystem grow, will make adoption happen. So it's very important that the Luna token serves its function and that we not be off put just because of this tokenomics. You just have to understand it. It's okay in this scenario. It wouldn't be okay in a different scenario. Like if Bitcoin was held, 90% by a few people, it wouldn't be Bitcoin, right? It would Cadena, same thing, it would be Cadena. So I think the tokenomics are average, and you shouldn't be put off by it. Luna has been doing great when it comes to price action, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But definitely the people who have got into Luna have been happy about getting into Luna and holding their token. Started in 2018 by business entrepreneur Daniel Shin and business partner Kwon, a computer scientist. The Terra blockchain was built by Terraform Labs, a software development conglomerate based in South Korea. The Terra mainnet went live April 2019. Terraform Labs is hiring in the United States, which I think is funny. Terra is built using Cosmos SDK and uses proof of stake on its nodes to process transactions. So Kwon is a very interesting character. I mean, he's been successful in previous ventures in the technology space. So I do think that he is a strong sort of individual with the right skill set to, really understand what Terra can do and what it can be. So in terms of the leadership at the top, he's definitely a strong person. I think that Terra has the advantage of being in South Korea, which I just assume is a country full of people that know a lot about technology. I don't think they'll have a hard time finding talent. They're well funded. So I think that Terra definitely does have a strong development team, and we can, research more into that. I have been on other videos, but I think with Terra, I think their development team is good. They have a Terraform lab, and I don't think there's anything left to be desired when it comes to the people making Terra. I think they're very able people. and you can do a little more research yourself if you want to, but I kind of left it at that because I think their development team is solid. Hi everyone. At this point, we have covered 3 of the main sections of the video. What is Terra, the Terra development team, and tokenomics. So if I had 2 cryptocurrencies side by side and they all had all the check marks, we're going to talk about the rest of it. The other important aspects, use case, notable partnerships, etc. But if all the checkboxes were the same for 2, cryptocurrencies, I would go back to those top 3. Like, what is Terra? Is it a good idea? Do they have solid development team? And what are their tokenomics? I mean, those 3 to me are some of the most critical aspects, even within all the critical aspects. But so like if they were side by side, I would go back to those top 3. So let me know how you guys like the video so far. Is there anything I could have added or explained? Just let me know in the comments below, and let's get right back to discussing the Luna token. Okay, so for use case, I thought I would take the approach to show you this really interesting video that I found on the use cases for Terra. What we know so far is that Terra is mainly a DeFi application meant for stablecoins, and this video is going to expand upon a lot of the reasons why they went in that direction over something else. And I just think it's very informative, and you should definitely watch. The link is terra.money. I'm going to provide those links below, but just a little bit of this video I think should really paint a picture in your mind as to how Terra can be used and what it's for.
Creating a decentralized form of money on which you can build an entirely new type of permissionless financial ecosystem is the Holy Grail of cryptocurrency. And that's exactly what Terra does. I first got into crypto in late 2016. What was the most interesting to me was that in an industry that calls itself the cryptocurrency industry, there was literally nobody working on creating a better form of money. People just took for granted that Bitcoin was peer-to-peer electronic cash, Ethereum was programmable money, and they never questioned whether these assets were actually useful as money. I started to think about what is a type of cryptocurrency that would actually be usable in the real world. Terra creates a decentralized money, which is easier to spend, more attractive to hold and invest than other types of fiat money or Bitcoin.
We all gotta make it.
One of the biggest problems that we're witnessing across the world is massive inflation. We're seeing 5% inflation in the developed world, but at the same time, the yields that people are getting in commercial savings accounts is 0.05%. By having a permissionless form of money and a permissionless financial system built on top of it, you can start to give people real yield that doesn't erode the value of your household savings.
Okay, guys, I want to cover notable partnerships. I'm going to cover 2, and they have lots of notable partnerships. These are just ones that I think are something I want to put on your radar. The first is going to be Summoner's game that had 50 million downloads on Android alone. And the reason that this is important is because Terra's core business is about being a stablecoin peg to local currencies. Their local stablecoin for the dollar is UST. So the letter U, letter S, letter T. When you're using the Luna token. And so that technology is being used in the games, right? People get paid to play. Summoner's game is a paid-to-play game. It opens the doors for things like the metaverse, right? Things like NFTs, which is some of the hottest things right now happening in the crypto space is the metaverse, is the NFTs. So they're opening the doors in that direction and having success, 50 million downloads. And that's why this partnership is important. It's important because if they can continue on and execute, they can really become an ecosystem outside of their core business and really grow in ways that can make the Luna token, increase in demand by having people use it to pay to play, to earn in their local currency. And it's just a strategically important move for them to do it. All the blockchains are in video games, are in NFTs. There's not a single one that is not. And this is just an example of Terra kind of joining in on the party. And I'm going to cover another notable partnership that I think you should know about as well. Hi guys, the next thing I want to cover, the next partnership is White Whale. They're enabling the UST peg in a decentralized manner, and I'm going to explain to you why that's so huge and important. So this article talks about how White Whale's vision is to create a platform, an application, that enables the enforcement of UST peg in a decentralized manner and allows regular users to participate in the complex trading strategies such as arbitrage trading. So this is achieved through opening up L1 seigniorage arbitrage to the Terra community. And you can look up seigniorage later if you want to. The most salient point is they're allowing regular people to take part in arbitrage and other complex trading. So arbitrage is when in America, Bitcoin is at 57,000, but in Japan, Bitcoin is at 57,500 because there's a lot more demand in Japan. And you see this in different exchanges that they have slight price differences. They're not quite the same. And those are arbitrage opportunities. If you can get Bitcoin and send it to Japan, like over the internet, instantly, really fast, and you can make a lot of money just on the fact that it's not like the price went up 30% or something or blow off top. No, it's just at the same day, at the same time, because they have more demand in Japan, you can arbitrage, you can send Bitcoin over there and make, gains. And it's not a question of profit, the market going up or down. It's just you're providing liquidity and it's making you money. So Bankman-Fried, the guy who's big on Sol and FTS exchange, that's how he started off. He was an arbitrage guy, and they spent a massive time building the infrastructure necessary to do the arbitrage trading. It's very specialized, requires background, requires a lot of red tape to do the trading. And so if they can simplify that and make it so you and me can do it, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. I don't know anybody else who's doing that they want to create the tools for you to do the arbitrage trading. So I think that if White Whale can pull this off effectively and make it work in a way that regular people can understand it, it's going to be absolutely massive for Terra and for White Whale, and then definitely is something to keep an eye out for as the news develops. I don't know where they are exactly in their, roadmap for this, but definitely something to keep an eye on and to get involved in. If it happens, when it happens, you want to be a part of this. Okay, guys, I want to cover price action for Luna, and I love looking at charts. I love playing with charts. I love pressing all the buttons and seeing what they do. So this is really fun for me. Their current price is what, 63? As of today, was it December the 2nd? You can see here, if you had bought it, November 27th, was a Black Friday discount in America, boop, you would have made like 50% or something crazy if you would have bought it down here, boop. So this bodes really well for their price action. But, when you have these bars up and up like this one, like look at this one, and then crash back down, right? So probably the most imminent thing is for it to bottom a little bit. But that's okay. I mean, they had a really big pump for a reason. And I just want to cover some of the momentum indicators with you. There's a lot to be covered. But let me see. Momentum indicators are RSI. And I'll just keep it simple, the MACD. So you see with the RSI, it's really overbought, and so it's going to drop, right? And you see that here, right? And then it dropped, right here. So just with the RSI, when it's over 70, it's overbought. It's right at 70, it's overbought, right? When it's under 30, it's oversold. So it doesn't always reach 30 or 70, right? But if it approximates, if it's at like 39, and then you look at, okay, relative to this, you know, probably it's at its lowest, just compared to what we've seen here, then that could be your 30, right? So you'd want to pick it up, right? If you had done the RSI and you saw, oh, hey, this is pretty low, right? It's at 40. Bought it here, boom, would have been a lot of money, but you got to sell it here, right? Or a percentage of it at least. If it comes back down and you're still above 40 or around 40, that's okay. So you can use the RSI to sort of know when to buy and sell. I maybe wouldn't buy it right now. Let it cool off and drop a little bit. This one is the MACD, is a momentum indicator, which is what I was wanting to show you specifically. The momentum indicator, when this blue line, the MACD line, crosses over the other line, the signal line, it means it's time to buy. And these bars tell you how high it could go. So right now, it's maybe one more bar or 2 bars more, and then it should drop in price unless we see a big uptick in the general market. And just look at here, right? So it had a couple of green bars, and then boop. But the biggest bar was the bottom, right? The biggest red bar was the bottom. Again, the biggest green bar is the top. And that kind of helps with momentum. But this is on the daily chart. Let's look at the monthly chart. So if you want to know kind of what it'll be next month, you know, this is what you can do. Let me see if I can get it on BINANCE. Yeah, see, BINANCE has more history than what I was on before. So based on this monthly chart, this is a month, this is another month, probably the price will go up, right? Based on the monthly charts, the monthly RSI. There's barely 14 because it's such a young company, such a young blockchain. They don't really have the information for these two to be really relevant. But if you want to know what'll happen next month, you look at the monthly chart, right? You want to know what happened next week, you look at the weekly chart, and you should always use a ratio of 1 to 4. So if you look at the daily chart, you should look at the weekly chart, and that's 1 to 7. But you get my point. Like you need a big difference between you know, daily and then day 4. There are day 4 charts, not on this one, but see, you could look at the 1 hour and then look at the 4 hour, and that would be the 1 to 4. But it's at least a 1 to 4 ratio. A 1 day to a week is fine as well. So let's look at the weekly chart, which should be telling us a little bit more. We see that it looks different than the daily chart, right? The RSI is much higher on the weekly chart than it was on the daily chart. So I feel like the weekly chart is probably, given the amount of information we have, one of the better ones to use. And probably next week will be a good day for Luna. But just keep an eye on it. Look at this here, right? When the MACD line crossed over the signal line means it's a bullish, right? And if it crosses below, it's bearish. And when it crossed below here, price went down, then it went up. So using this price action, you know, I would probably maybe sell some Luna right now. I probably wouldn't close out my whole position. It depends on when you bought it. But these price action indicators are telling me that Luna has a good, you know, price pump ahead of it. And, you know, you can sort of try to be strategic about when you buy it. We're all expecting a pump in December, usually one of the more bullish months for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. I would buy Luna based on the price action, based on some of the things that we've seen. I think it'll have a good week. It'll have a good month. I just don't know if I would buy it right now. I think maybe it'll cool off in the next couple of days, or even if I wanted to buy it now, right? Look at this low point. Probably the next point will be a low point. just because it's starting to top out for its momentum here. So when you do that, you want to draw a line to see. Horizontal ray is what I always use, and you want this line to touch as many points as possible. So here it only touches 2 points, either 1, 2, 3, 4 points, 5 points if we go a little lower. So this is going to be a good line. So if I was going to buy it on the more recent basis, I would probably set it around 52. There's other things you can do with moving averages as well, the so-called key technical levels. And I don't want to overwhelm you with information, so I'll just leave it there. But if I was going to buy it more recently, I would probably try to low end 51, 52, right? High end maybe 54, around 55. I definitely wouldn't buy it today. I wouldn't do that unless your dollar costing average, then maybe it's fine. But if I want to pick some up, I would set it right around 56, right around 52. That's my range of when I would buy it. So don't be afraid of the price action. Don't be afraid of looking at charts. I love charts. Charts tell you so much and help you buy and sell at the right time. Luna's price action is very encouraging, in my opinion. It's had nothing but green days. It's got more green days ahead, and I will be personally looking to pick it up when the time is right for me. Not financial advice. Do your own research, but this is something to get you going. Hi everyone. I hope that you found the information I shared with you useful. I hope that it jumpstarts your research, and make sure you research. I want to cover some of the negative things about Luna. I've always found them personally very sobering. Calms me down, calms the emotion down, and then you can make a better decision with your eyes open to the negative side. And there always will be a negative side to anything. The negative side to Luna is that it could face a lot of regulatory backlash from the United States. So Luna is based out of South Korea. It's not in the United States. It's got a little buffer. But still, if the United States SEC comes out with stable coins are illegal, they're competing with currency, then they would lose their stranglehold on people using dollars instead of UST. They will eliminate them as a competitor. They'll make it illegal to use UST in America. I don't think that would kill Luna, because Luna is not in America, but it would be a big hit. And you definitely should consider that. I think in this bull run, it won't matter, that Luna will be just fine. But in the future, right, years from now, maybe sooner than years from now, it could face that regulatory backlash. And so maybe it's not a long-term hold. Personally, I wouldn't hold it long-term until the dust settles on that. Or if you're really good about hearing the news and you think something could happen, boom, you sell your position right there. You take profits, do what you need to do. But it wouldn't be a good video if I didn't mention that Luna could face severe regulatory backlash in America. It shouldn't deter you from buying Luna. It's a great token. It's great price action. It's going to be fine this bull run, but maybe not in the future. So just keep that in mind, and let me know if there's anything I could have covered or maybe expanded upon. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, and let me know what you guys want to see. I'll be happy to include that and make improvements. Have a nice day.